Recording we can stop, Kamal. I am doing live on YouTube. Perfect.
Will you do the recording?
I'm doing the live on YouTube.
Okay,
It will
okay,
be
okay.
recorded.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Let's begin. Toastmaster Satyajit.
Good evening, dear Toastmaster and gentle guest. My name is Satya Samanto, and today I am going to be Sergeant at Arms for the club. I welcome you all to the 91st meeting of Rendezvous Toastmaster Club. I really appreciate you all for attending today. So, as we know that Toastmaster International was founded by late Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924 at YMCA, California. The Toastmaster International mission is to empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. To keep that in mind, our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are three taboo topics that we are refrained from speaking about in the meeting are politics, religion, and sex. I request to all Toastmaster and guests to switch off your mobile phones or keep them on silent to avoid any sorts of disturbances. Please avoid any movement during the speeches as this distracts the speakers. Speaking in this platform needs lots of effort. Please encourage and support speaker with a big round of applause. Now, I would like to call someone who had done post-graduation in instrumentation. Due to his profession, he has been to 4 to 5 countries related to commissioning the project and explored things as per his knowledge. Currently, he is in Dubai and have joined a firm well known for camel milk, that is Emirates Industry for Camel Milk and Products, since February 2022 as a maintenance engineer. He had joined Toastmaster on August 2022 and succeeded in achieving the award of Triple Crown, which was only possible due to extended support from his mentors from Rendezvous and other Toastmaster Club. Please put your hands together to welcome our club president, Toastmaster Kamal Biswas. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for the nice introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. How are you all? All good?
Doing great. Yes, yes.
Still energy left for the meeting?
Yes, yes.
Okay. That's great. Welcome to our 91st meeting tonight. So, as a president of Rendezvous Toastmaster Club, it's my pleasure to officially call this meeting to order. Let us embark on another exciting journey of learning, sharing, and growing together. I would like to extend a warm welcome to our guest, Toastmaster Alexander Thomas, for joining us to navigate how to overcome financial challenges that could manifest in other parts in our life, including lack of savings, insurance, investments, overspending, and so on. A famous quote by Benjamin Franklin: an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. True, right? Because we all know. Now, without delay, I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, a elated mother of two pretty budding artists and wife of highly logistic personality, completed Masters in Science and Technology in Remote Sensing, Physics from Jawaharlal Nehru University, an entrepreneur in printing since 2014, a Toastmaster since 2015, winner of evaluation at division level last year, and now currently serving as district IT manager. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Anita to guide us through the rest of the meeting. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, President Kamal. I think we got a little bit of an insight about what Toastmasters is from his speech. And yes, it is the 91st meeting of Rendezvous Toastmasters. And we're just about 9 meetings short of reaching the century. So I think in these, the next 9 meetings, we're going to add more quality to the fraternity by bringing forth lovely speakers, experienced speakers onto the stage of Rendezvous. So on that note, today I took up this TMOD role to introduce a person whom I know as a friend, but I know him as a person who's been there, done that, and knows it all when it comes to MONEY. But before I call him onto the stage formally, I just wanted to give a little bit of a prelude, like, you give a prelude to music, a preface to today's meeting. What I like today when I was browsing about this particular topic is a few things about that I'm going to put forth. One of the reasons the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class struggles in debt is that the subject of money is not taught to us at home. I mean, it is taught to us at home and not taught to us at school. We are taught history, we are taught many other things, but when we are not taught about how to handle our finances, we're not taught about how to actually earn money. All that we see, especially in the Asian countries, in India, especially India and Pakistan, probably those countries, is that we are only told to complete the entire cycle of education and then look into career. Okay, that's the biggest myth that we've been living in for a long time. And by the time we finish the education itself, we are quite aged. And then we are in a rush to earn money, to get into some kind of a career which gives us money. So this is something which a fallacy that we've been living in for a long time. And thanks to Toastmaster, the keynote speaker is going to come in today, that we're going to be enlightened as to what kind of mistakes we make. We have some Toastmasters who are here who said that they want their children to listen to this, and that is the reason they are in this meeting. I think this is where it all starts. The education should start at a very young age. And so we have some very prospective kids who are going to prospective finance managers evolving from kids very soon because of this meeting. And then another very important thing that I have got on the internet is there is a difference between being poor and being broke. Anybody? What is the difference? Being poor and being broke. Yeah, Mamata.
When you are poor, you have nothing to lose. But what I believe, what I can understand being broke. I had money. Suppose I had 10,000, 20,000, and somehow I lost it. So then I will say I'm broke because I had that money and I had no idea how to save those money, how to invest in a proper way. So that time I lost it. Maybe I explained it, or maybe I lost it somehow. So I would say I'm broke. But yeah, if I want poor, or if I am poor, I don't even have that 10,000, 20,000 in my hand. So there is a different. Poor is you don't have it, have the money, and broke is you had it, but now you don't have it. You lost it somehow. Over to you, Anita.
Okay. Yeah. Poor is complete. It's a permanent situation. It's an eternal thing. Whereas broke can always be temporary. You can always, come out of it, recover from it. And that's where we are leading this meeting to. And then the most important thing again is we learn from the learned, we learn from the experienced, but we learn a lot from life. Life pushes you to a corner, and that's when most of the people wake up. I think today's keynote speaker also will have something to say about his life experience and how he woke up at the edge, and then from there was no looking back. So his experience is going to become our teaching.
DTM Manita, I just wanted to add on to what Momita mentioned. Broke is a temporary situation. Poor is a mindset. You cannot outgrow the mindset of poor, but broke, you can be broke today. Multimillionaires can be broke, but the next day, just like the stock market goes down and comes up. So that's something. Sorry for interrupting. I didn't want to miss out on this thing. Thank you.
Not at all. It's a discussion. There's no formality over here. Please don't apologize. Yes, and that's something which is very important. It's a mindset. Something when you say you're poor, it's a mindset which you cannot come out of unless you decide to come out or unless life pushes you there. Another the most important thing I have again gathered is the poor and the middle class work for money, but the rich make money work for them. Such powerful lines. And how many of you here have read Robert Kiyosaki's enlightened book? Enlightening book. Robert Kiyosaki's Alexander will definitely talk about it at a later stage, I'm pretty sure. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm telling you all, there's so much I learned from there. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of that light that is going to be thrown on this in due course of our meeting. Nevertheless, what I thought is just to break the ice, we will start with a short round of table topics, which is again related to the same topic. So I would request everyone, I'm going to just call you all randomly and ask you all, would request everyone, each one of you to come in and make use of these topics because these topics could be the inputs for the question and answer session, which we're going to have with Toastmaster Alexander after his speech. So let's start with who would want to go first? Okay. Let's start with Toastmaster Uday. He just came in, the president of Basha Toastmasters. Toastmaster Uday, the first question, the first table topic goes to you, right?
Okay, I'm ready. Let's see.
Do you have an emergency fund? If yes, how are you managing it? Do you have an emergency fund? If yes, how are you managing it? Toastmaster Uday.
Yes, I have an emergency fund, say around $20,000, and it is there as a fixed deposit. So I have a lot of expenditure anyway because I have 3 children studying in US, and I do maintain a fixed deposit. It is in joint name, my name and my wife's name. So of course there are insurance and some other things, but just in case something happens, this emergency fund can tide over at least 3-4 months to do the necessary expenditure. So this is what I have.
Thank you so much. We are not timing anyone as such, but yes, we're going to cut off people if they exceed 1 minute. These are the inputs that Toastmaster Alex will be noting down in case he has to comment later on these things. Let's go. Thank you
Sure.
so much, Toastmaster Uday. We
Thank
shall
you
now
very much.
move on to Toastmaster. Thank you so much. Shall we move on to Toastmaster Kamal, the president of Rendezvous? Toastmaster Kamal,
Yes.
have you ever taken a financial risk? If yes, what was it? Explain. Have you ever taken a financial risk? If yes, what was it? Explain.
Till now, I didn't remember I have taken any financial risk because I have very much calculation about how much I'm getting and what's my expense. A totally calculation. I am not going on the side, okay, borrowing some money from somewhere and taking risk, this, that, and all. I'm not like these things. So it's totally negative for me.
That's interesting. I think that's advisable also. But maybe Alex has got something else to say about it later. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kamal. Toastmaster Satyajit, shall I ask you?
Yes, definitely.
What is your thought on borrowed money? What is your thought on borrowed money, like the credit cards? Toastmaster Satyajit.
I really don't think like borrowing money or through using credit card. I have like in back in India, I have credit card, but for like emergency cases or something for buying some instrument for EMI, that's for I am using that credit for borrowing. Otherwise, I don't like to borrow money from people and then like we have tension in head. We have to give that money in time. Otherwise, they will say something that is very like I don't like those type of things. So I'm like trying to save my money for emergency. So I don't like to borrow. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Satyajit. I think that was quite an insight, an excellent insight, in fact. Toastmaster Maumita. Some people spend a lot of money on their house. Do you advise it to happen? Some people spend a lot of money on their house. Do you advise it to be happening? Toastmaster Maumita.
I am the one. Thank you, Toastmaster Anita, for asking me this question. I am the one. I spend a lot for a lot of money. Whatever I earn, I just dump it or invest it on my house. It's a very good investment, and I learn it from my father. That I mean, we are not that much. Well-earned person. He was not that much well-earned person, but whatever whenever he got money, he used to invest on his house. He used multi-storied. We had a three-storied building where we used to stay. We three sisters and my parents. We used to stay there, and when we started earning, when I started earning, when my sister started earning, we used to do the same. We used to invest at our house, and I learned it from him. And now I have my own house. Literally, to be very honest, I'm not that much well-earned person who can buy his own apartment and all. But yes, because of my father, I learned that. But if you take it in an extreme level, suppose you are earning 100 rupees and you invest 90 rupees in your house, that is not at all accepted. Yes, if you are earning 100, then definitely around 60 rupees you can invest in your home, because home is something. Home is your lifetime asset. Over to you, Toastmaster Anita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Maumita. Again, I'm pretty sure Toastmaster Alex has made note of this response from you. Let's move on to Toastmaster Ravinder Pannu. I hope you're a Toastmaster, Ravinder.
Yes, ma'am. I am a Toastmaster. Good evening to all.
Fantastic. Good evening. You're from which club?
I am from Elite Toastmasters Club, Area 19 in Muscat, Oman.
Oh, fantastic. Welcome to online club in Dubai.
My pleasure,
the question to you, Toastmaster Ravinder, is: do you have a debt repayment plan in place? Do you have a debt repayment plan in place? Toastmaster Ravinder, over to you.
Well, good evening once again, everyone. So if I have a debt repayment plan, first is I believe less in debt. But yes, I do believe I have a debt of 50% of my net worth. So the amount of debt which I have, basically that money is lying with me in cash. And that money in cash, I periodically invest in stock markets and mutual funds and other instruments. And the debt which I have taken is a long-term debt, which is against a home, like a home loan. So where I'm paying relatively less interest rate, and the amount which I have in cash, which I'm investing in markets periodically, earns me more. The returns are higher than what I'm paying as interest as interest in my debt. So effectively, if I say over 15 years of time, I will be having more money as compared to if I had not taken that debt and purchased that house in cash. So 15 years from now, yes, I would be having more money. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravinder. 1 second. Yeah. Can we call Toastmaster Sham Adhikari? Toastmaster Sham, are you a Toastmaster? Okay, anyone who wants to take a question, Please, can you all unmute yourself or raise your hand? Couple of questions and then we'll call in the keynote speaker. Toastmaster Renault, Toastmaster Kaushik.
Yes, Anita.
Okay. Who is this? Kaushik?
Yeah.
Why can't I see? Ah, yeah. Toastmaster Kaushik, the question for you is, how do you primarily manage your finance? Okay, let's leave that aside. I just wanted to know, do you have a financial goal? What is your financial goal? Do you have a financial goal in place? Toastmaster Kaushik.
Well, the financial goals changes with age. For me, when I was young, it was different, and when I am now, I am 50, so my goal is different now. Initially, when I was in 30s, when I started my job, etc., and that time financial goal was to get a house, a car back in India, etc., and having decent money. But because I was working in a government organization, so future pension, etc., was settled there. So this was the goal. But when I came to Dubai, here the requirement was different. And in 40s, the goal was to save enough money to work for the children's education, etc., etc. And now in 50s, now we have to settle back for the life after retirement, etc. So the goal is that to have enough money to go back home or in Dubai to spend the life decently. That is what
Okay.
I mean.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kaushik. I think Toastmaster Alex will definitely make a note of whether the goal for future should be made at 50. That's something which is very important over there.
Yeah.
So we will look into that because we do have some youngsters and even teenagers out here sitting there. So can we ask Kiran Das, Toastmaster Kiran, would you want to take the last question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Which of the following budgeting methods do you use? Creating a monthly budget, tracking expenses, saving a fixed percentage of income, or using budgeting apps?
Okay.
Which of the following budgeting methods do you use? Creating a monthly budget, tracking expenses, saving a fixed percentage of your income, or using budgeting apps? Toastmaster Kiran, are you there?
Yes. So the method I do is that I track the expenses. So this is one of the technique I learned during my graduation time. We have a finance person who has taken us a session one day. So how to manage your finance. So one thing he told that you have to understand what is the expense you are spending. That ensures that you can plan your budget accordingly. So that is one thing I started from my college days. So when I move on, then I understand that okay, we should have a definite savings. That is the way we have to look forward. So initially, maybe in the college days, I was staying in the hostel. So that time I have a fixed expense, I can do it. So that's how I started the journey. So when I started earning, maybe my 25-year-old, then I understand that, okay, now you have to look forward for a fixed savings. That's how we have to do it. So when I look into the models you told in a span of my lifetime, when I go through different career path, I may be implementing different things. So maybe recently I started apps to track my expense and everything. That's how I look forward. But I still understand that okay, when we look forward for a long term, we have to have a proper plan. So that is one of the reason today I joined in, because the Alexander Thomas, his topic I had seen, and then I just want to reach out the home, then I want to attend it. I'm looking forward to know more about the things that I have to follow so that I can have a better financial plan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kiran. One last question we'll ask Toastmaster Satish. Toastmaster Satish, would you want to take a question?
Yes, what is the question?
Yeah, we're just discussing about this topic so that we gather some good inputs for the keynote speaker to use in the question and answer section. Do you believe in life insurance? Do you believe in life insurance policy?
Of course,
Toastmaster Satish.
of course, everybody, those who are living, believe in life insurance, because that is the something we can bequeath, something we can make sure we can plan the future with life insurance. If the life is insured, it is more safe and more protected. Most of the time, people are taking the different types of life insurance up there. So everybody should have a term life insurance at least. It's okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, there are different kinds of life insurance. We shall definitely discuss, throw more light on this during the question and answer session. I hope Toastmaster Alex has made a note of these questions, these inputs as well. Now I think is the golden hour, the time when I have to introduce this gentleman who's agreed to be a part of this meeting to enlighten all of us who have gathered here to learn more about the small mistakes that can cost us a lot, especially in financial management. Even before I call him to the stage, once again, let me give a small introduction to this person who is highly experienced in this field. Just a second. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. If it's not visible, please sound me. Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Visible.
Thank you so much. So we see this gentleman here, with none other than Robert Kiyosaki, with our late President Yani Zail Singh, with late Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, with Gary Vee, the American businessman, Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Souls, with Michelle Kanu, of course, you know it, Marshall Goldsmith, again an American executive and coach, Brian Tracy, who doesn't know him, Sheikh Mubarak, just a second, Tony Buzan, Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Vern Hanish, Scaling Up, B.R. Shetty. Well, and he keeps inspiring us. So I think he receives he should receive a big round of applause from all of us to recognize the kind of networking he has made in his entire journey of career. So now let me call upon Toastmaster Alexander Thomas. He has nearly 40 years, 4 decades of international corporate experience in logistics, security, and insurance, held senior managerial positions for almost 3 decades. A seasoned traveler, he has visited over 30 countries, can you believe that? And amassed a personal library of over 6,000 books. Volunteering since school, Alexander has saved over 100 lives in incidents such as riots, accidents, and fires. Recipient of India's President Bravery Award and the Red and White Bravery Award. Oh my God. Passionate about Toastmasters since 2005. He calls himself a leader without a title and is a well-connected global member. And that's how I connected with him. He was so popular in 2015. I was just waiting to see him, meet him in person. I knew him by his name. but I never met him. And when I met him, he was so humble. Yet he had met Tony Robbins, he had met all the big motivators around the world, and he was so grounded. Despite 3 decades of financial mistakes, losing millions across various assets classes, Alexander is now an authority on credit cards and loans. What more can we ask for? After job loss, bankruptcy, he learned crucial personal financial lessons, clearing over $1 million dirhams in debt to become debt-free by 2016. He has since built a robust personal finance portfolio and offers advice on avoiding the common financial pitfalls faced by expats. Can we all unmute ourselves and give him a big thundering round of applause to welcome him on the stage? Toastmaster Alexander, please unmute yourself. Welcome to Rendezvous Toastmasters virtual stage.
Thank you. May I request all of you, if you could switch on your cameras. It sort of, I see names, but it'll really be nice if you can switch on your cameras, if it is convenient for you, because money is an emotional subject, and I want to make sure that whatever you're getting from me today, it is you are here not by random mistake. You are here because you are meant to be here, and the universe has created a moment for you to be here in this place. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose this hour from different countries, and I am extremely grateful to all of you. I want to ask you a question, and I want everyone to participate. The answer could be yes or no. It doesn't make a difference, but it will be something that you will remember. If tomorrow your known sources of income are not going to be there, are you well prepared? Except probably Toastmaster Uday Singh, it refers to everyone else. Are you prepared to have the same lifestyle that you are having today? If it is yes, give me a thumbs up. If it's no, let me know. Are you seeing any thumbs up? I cannot see. I just
It's a no.
It's a no. Okay. Okay. The most important thing, there is an old Chinese saying. They say the best time to plant a tree was 20 years back, and the second best time is today. And here, I want to tell you that it's never too late. I'm 59, and I'm telling you, till I was 53, I was clueless about, a lot of money was coming in and a lot of money was going out. And like what we had, I'm just trying to see the Toastmaster from DSO who mentioned about tracking budget. Toastmaster Das mentioned. I was clueless about the entire matter. But what really happened? And that brings me to the fifth reason, what most pitfalls, what most expats face, and that is inadequate or not having an emergency fund. What Toastmaster Uday Singh mentioned, not having an emergency fund and not having adequate protection. And here I'm also referring to, what do you mean by protection? Protection means having your insurance, and I'm very specific. Insurance for me is only term insurance. Everything else is a scam. Everything else is a scam. The only insurance that's good for you and me is a pure term insurance. Second, have a health insurance. Have a health insurance in your home country, because you are where you are as an expat only as long as your visa lasts. And the moment your visa is not there, you don't have your medical services, irrespective of how big the company that you're working for, Your visa is not there, your medical stops. Always have. You must be remembering those, bald tires of scooters and cars, which are the stepney tires. The day things go wrong, it brings you back safely. And having this protection, having an emergency fund equivalent to 6 to 12 months. Earlier it used to be 6, but if you have a COVID kind of a situation, it's always good to have money equivalent to your monthly expense, 6 months monthly expense or 12 months monthly expense. And this is not invested in mutual funds or stocks. It is cash or cash equivalent. It could be in a bank account or a liquid fund. Second, or the fourth pitfall which most expats fall into is lifestyle inflation. Most of you are coming from a different home country and suddenly you move overseas, your salary is 2x, 3x, 4x. And it only takes 1 month or maximum 2 months for you to get used to the new life. You suddenly find cars are so cheap, credit cards they are just literally throwing credit card, and you want to drive in the car that film stars back home are driving, and which is very easily possible. Third pitfall that most expats fall into is lack of diversification. Either somebody is invested only in fixed deposit, or they have invested only in real estate, or they are into parallel money lending or some kind of an activity, or they just buy gold in ornaments. Now, that's the third pitfall. Fourth pitfall is lack of clear financial goals and postponing financial decisions. If you ask me today, friends, one single largest wealth destroyer that I've ever known, do let me know if you agree with it, is procrastination. Tell me, have your parents, have you not forgotten to, not been able to invest in a corner plot, invest in a house, invest in a stock market company, and you thought, this is not the right time? Or most importantly, how many of you are still delaying procrastinating on taking a term insurance or a health insurance? Because you don't know. We all set our alarms today to wake up tomorrow. The alarm will ring, but only somebody up there, the Almighty God, will make sure that you will wake up. And if you have not planned any of these things, then it's high time that this is the writing on the wall. One of the books that I really would encourage you to read in today's time is Who Moved My Cheese. It talks about how to, how change happens, and how if you are not proactive, if you are not noticing what's happening around, you will be out. You will be like hem and haw in the book Who Moved My Cheese. And coming to the second most important thing is lack of clear financial goals. I think we have already covered that. And if you ask me the number one reason, number one pitfall, why all these 4 other financial pitfalls take place, is because of lack of financial literacy. And just like the speaker mentioned in the beginning, the famous quote by Benjamin Franklin,
Then the 2 fast folders.
Invest in yourself, because today you are sold by everyone. Everyone out in the market is a salesperson. And knowledge is that vaccine. It's that magic vaccine. It is that protection that you're getting, that you don't get scammed. I am sure most of you are aware of all those financial scams that are taking place, different numbers, OTP scam, various things. Now, if you're just, you just buy, you just watch a few YouTube videos, you buy maybe one book on personal finance, at least you understand, right? When your fixed deposit interest is going to be 7% or 8%, how can somebody promise you 24%, right? And not only that, you will be able to save yourself, you will be able to save your parents. Many of them get conned in. I was talking to DTM Anita about simple thing like nominating. Nominations are free in bank accounts, but you don't nominate, and the person, either relative, passes away. You have to run from pillar to post to get what actually belongs to you. And most importantly, probably many of you may not be knowing, in most of the Middle Eastern countries, irrespective of your religious belief, if you pass away, your assets will be disposed according to the Sharia law. However, if you have a will made, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Christian, a Jew, a Parsi, or a Sikh, and you have a will made, then the governments would go according to the will that you have made. There are people who say, I don't have anything, but probably there is an accident insurance or there is a life insurance taken by the company for $1 million dirham, but you don't have a will. And God forbid if you are in a multi-religious kind of a marriage where it gets further complicated because the in-laws may not be on the same page as your spouse. So there are a lot of things which you need to take care of. So these are the 5 essential mistakes and pitfalls which most expats they fall into. And even when you're talking about the lack of diversification, a lot of people find it convenient to take a big personal loan from wherever you're working and invest it in a real estate asset which may not be bringing you any return. You're paying interest here and you're not having any income producing asset. Robert Kiyosaki says, your house is not your asset. And you're talking about, I think one of the Toastmasters was mentioning about how he's got a home loan and he is investing it in higher income producing, in higher return producing assets. But the main thing is, if tomorrow, for some reason, you are no longer physically able to manage those finances and you're not able to pay the EMI, the bank will come and confiscate. Even if it is just one single EMI left, the house does not belong to you. And I'm telling you all this from personal experience. 3 decades of mistakes. I used to have a money back policy, a endowment policy, and I thought that was the best thing. Do not ever mix insurance and investment. And I can give you some suggestions how you can avoid these pitfalls and go into life from wherever you are. It doesn't make a difference. As I told you, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years back. And that is one of my first suggestions. Start as early as possible. You could not do it, at least make your children, as soon as they start earning, make sure, and if they're staying with you, I would encourage you. Independence and everything is fine. But if they're staying at home, not paying rent, not paying any expenses, forcibly make sure they invest in their own names 80 to 90% of their income. And I'm telling you, there is an article which I probably will share it with DTM Anita later on. It's about walking tall. If you have, just like Toastmaster Uday Singh was telling, I have $20,000 in my account, I'm sure that makes you confident. Money in the bank, money in your net worth gives you tremendous amount of confidence. It helps you avoid toxic office relations because you have an EMI which is almost 50% of your salary. You cannot afford to look for a job. Even when you look for a job, it's written here, please give me a job. Many people today, or majority of people today, common, if I take just go to Karama or whichever place and do a poll, almost 80% people are surviving on 50% of their salary. They would have car loan, they would have personal loan, they would have home loan, they would have credit card loan. Different credit cards, you keep on jumping and maxing it out. So that is something, learn to live below your means. The audience here is very, very enlightened. It's not the normal audience where most people are paying minimum EMI, minimum amount due. Can anyone unmute and say, if you pay the minimum amount on a credit card, how long would it take to clear the total bill? Anyone? You can just unmute.
Maybe more than 20 years.
Good. Anybody else? Because many
More than
people
5
are
years.
paying the, sorry?
More than 5 years.
I want a third answer.
Never.
Anybody? Who said that? Who said never? Who was that?
Dharmajan.
Absolutely.
It's me,
That is-
Dharmajan.
Okay. You are a chartered accountant yourself. You would know. Absolutely. The real truth is never. And the banks keep on tempting you. Pay minimum, pay 5%. And all the free credit and everything is gone the moment you have an outstanding. One thing I regret, and I wish all of you are able to do that, is never depend upon a single source of income. Even if it's a small one, a small financial initiative that you've joined. Today, in UAE, you can get an e-trader license. Your spouse could be using it to launch a YouTube channel, podcast. There are so many different multiple ways. Now, it's not important that your second source of income has to be 100%. It can even start from 1%. 1% of your present income. There are different ways you can look at it. But I was actually talking to a very senior chartered accountant. He's a director level person with one of the big four. And I asked him, so, what do you regret? He said, Alex, what I regret is not having multiple sources of income. Because one source of income, it can stop. It could be rental income. It could be, you're running some kind of a joint ventureship thing with somebody. It could be in the country that you're working. It could be in a country where you originally belong to. Have multiple sources of income. That is one thing. And I think Toastmaster Das mentioned about the most important and the tool and the most underrated tool on wealth creation is simply writing down your daily expenses. Forget about apps, forget about everything else. If you're good at Excel, perfect. That's the best app that you can use. Otherwise, just write down your daily expenses. Keep comparing. I encourage all of you. There are hundreds of people who have taken up my cash only policy. Do not use your credit card. Do not use your debit card because the human mind does not get connected. You tap and go, tap and go. But when you sort of use cash, you ask any restaurant. I do a lot of interviews in UAE when I would interact and say, how do people? They say the moment people get salary, they'll order a burger, juice, something else. But towards the end of the month, they are on Kadak Chai. So when you spend cash, you know when it is stopping. But when you use credit card, and I know some of you are very smart when it comes to juggling cards, but once you forget, it'll cost you at least 400 dirham. Mind plays tricks. I have ended up doing that. I thought I paid it, but in between somebody called me. I did not finish the transaction. And later on, I thought, why is this overdue amount coming? And then I realized so please, whatever is possible, please automate it. Keep your mind free. And when you go shopping, whatever way you're doing, if you can go now with a shopping list, you will not get distracted. Just go to Lulu or Carrefour or Spinneys and see how tempting the things are. Offer for 6 soaps, 8 soaps. You don't need that many. And I would say, don't go to a supermarket. If you need to buy one small thing, buy it locally. It may be costlier, but you will not be tempted. Now, these are some of the things which I would suggest to, which are common pitfalls. In this, two things are the most important: lifestyle inflation. Look at it from, many of you been in the Middle East, in other countries for 10, 15, 20 years. Look at your first year's expense and look at your present expense. You will see the difference. You will see that your saving has not kept pace with it. Some of you are good, but once in a while I do come across couples where they are saving 70%, a good high 6-figure salary, saving 70%. When you are having that kind of a saving, you can weather COVID, you can weather job losses, you can weather any kind of a health related issues, not only with you, but of your extended family. It's not just because you are in an expat country and you have health insurance which covers you. Some of you have the full family cover, many of you don't. And when those expenses pile up, one single reason why families go into debt is health emergency. If you have, even if you are there in the Middle East and you have a family health coverage, please have one which takes care of it. Do not use that. Use only your company provided one. Keep it as a backup. Grow your no claim bonuses, because when you finally go back, you will have cholesterol, you will have diabetes, you will have thyroid, you will have hypertension, and at that time, nobody wants to sell you, right? And there is one saying which I would encourage all of you: dig your well before you're thirsty. Whether it is learning some new skills, because with AI coming in, I find a lot of things people have become replaceable. So invest in a new skill, save as much as possible, live below your means, postpone things that you can postpone, understand the power of compounding, and invest in personal finance. I think with this, I'm ready for some questions if you have. If there is time, I leave it to DTM, Anita, if that is there.
Yes, we have time. We can use another half an hour is there as per the agenda. But yes, if 15-20 minutes of questions. Can I begin with one question here, Toastmaster?
Sure.
Yeah, you've told about credit card risks even when paid on time. Rather, how exactly does credit card play foul in one's life? Even, I mean, like, my husband pays on time, but then we use for everything, we use only the credit card, every small payment. So is that a risky thing? I mean, are you trying to tell?
See, the thing is, if you can automate it, because where some of the challenges that come in, If the money is getting debited from the same bank, it's fine. But there is a national holiday coming 2 days, 3 days, and it gets delayed, And when there is some kind of a delay, or you are overseas, you're traveling, for some reason it didn't. So that is a kind of a situation. But majority of the issues can be avoided if you are automating payments 100%. Do not go for minimum payment or something. Go for 100% payment. And you also get cards which have
Low credit.
Have a low limit, so that you do not. So if you can ask me, like, what are the things? Don't go for all the reward points. At the end of it, if you see, it is nothing. If you one time you forget, that's real 400, 500 dirham. But to get 500 dirham, unless you are a CFO of a company and all company expenses are being routed to the CFO's personal card, it is not a very, this is my views on it. They say you can make money from credit card, but it's like juggling multiple balls. At some stage, things will go wrong, and same for loans too.
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, please feel free.
It's just a discussion. There's nothing formal.
Yeah.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Toastmaster Panu.
Yeah, good evening once again, sir.
Good evening.
Like, what is the minimum savings as per you, like, or for a salaried person? What is the percentage of savings one should do mandatorily?
Okay. What I'm telling you is, because it is not very easy. It is just like if you ask me, for me to sort of suggest you something, I need to know what are the liabilities that you have. What is your financial condition, right? Because maybe you have, that person has got many expenses. I know people who say they are not able to save 5%. I know of people who say they save 70%, 80%, right? Now, again, it depends upon your lifestyle. If I may ask, how many years has it been since you moved to the Middle East? Are you in the
I'm
Middle
here.
East or?
Yeah, in Oman for 15 years.
15 years. Now, what happens if you look at your expense of first year and your expense today? You will see your expense has shot up, your salary has shot up. But have you been able to save that additional, increment each time? Because the human mind, if you don't, because if you see even loans, the bank takes it first. So first you keep aside. So if today you are saving 5%, try to save 6%. There is a wonderful book which I will recommend. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. 1% change, right? Now, ideally, see what are the expenses around. Are you buying things that you are not needing? Where is your, and when you do the basic tracking, you will see where your money is going. Is it going into house rent? Is it going into schools? Is it going into something else that can be avoided? Because today, I want to share a small story with all of you. Two friends were there and they were talking, and there's this dog, it starts whining, whining and whimpering. And he said, yeah, most of you here can understand Hindi, or do we have people who don't? Okay, all of you. So he said, what really happened? He said, just ignore it. We'll continue with the conversation. And after 2-3 minutes, the dog again starts whining. And he said, what happened? Just let's focus on our conversation. After 3 or 4 times, the guy says, no. First, you tell me what is wrong with the dog. Why is it whining after every few minutes? He said, where the dog is lying, there is a mattress, and below the mattress, there is a nail. He said, so when the dog changes a side, the nail goes inside and it feels the pain. He says, why does it not get up? No, it is not feeling that much pain. So all of us are going through, many of us are going through the same thing. Today, the threat of not having money for our retirement is not an immediate thing. We spend money that we don't have for our children. We hypothecate our assets to get educational loans for our kids so that they can go and study overseas. But the families that you all grew up are not the same families today. There was a time when children were the retirement fund for many people and parents were the emergency fund for kids. But today, let's suppose somebody has gone to the US, finds a girl there, gets married. They may not have the same view of paying off the education loan that you took, hypothecating your only property. So you need to focus, and this is a reality call because it is happening everywhere. Families are going nuclear, and I would suggest, like what they tell in the aircraft, when the oxygen pressure goes down, oxygen mask would automatically fall down, and first put your oxygen mask before helping your children. And in many of the cars I see in the Middle East, it says, objects in the rear view mirror may be closer than you think. You get to work for 30 years. I started working when I was 20, but a lot of people today start working at 30. But thanks to medical development that is there, people live longer. Now, and that is where insurance comes in. You have two challenges: dying too soon or living too long. And as long as you make sure that you're doing the right thing. Now, Toastmaster Ravinder, you can even make it a game. If you're comfortable, you can tell me what percentage are you saving today? Percentage.
Around 30-35%.
Okay. I challenge you, make it a game, try to save 1% extra. Just 1% extra. Go through budget, see what is there, and invest in income producing assets. Don't buy a field somewhere and just leave it there. Do something that brings money, passive sources of income. Invest in mutual funds. No need of investing in direct equity because it takes a lot of time. But today, give your money to a professional. Putting money in FD doesn't make sense if you understand inflation.
No, definitely. And
but you ask your colleagues, you will find majority of them are putting only in FD. Just to know, to have a general poll, how many of you who are investing in FD? Emergency fund, I can sort of understand, an emergency fund again can be broken into three. Some portion you can keep it in cash, some portion in your bank account, some portion in a liquid fund. Because maybe it's a ATM thing is not there during a certain period. At night, you need money, have some money. Have some money that you can go to the ATM and take. Have some money that you can take it a day later. So you have 3, 4, 5. And if you don't have an emergency fund, it's perfectly fine. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Start with it. There are people who say they're not able to save 1%. Bachta hi nahi hai. Why? Because if you try to save after spending, there will never be anything left. And that is why you look at it, all your credit cards, all your home loans, all your personal loans, the moment salary credit comes, it's not even the day. Tuck, 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 tuck. Have you observed it? Any of you observed that? The same day your salary comes, the deductions. Because they know from experience that once the money is over, they will have to send their collection team. So they said the moment the salary hits the account, they started acting. In fact, I used to fight with them. My due date is 10th. Just because my salary came on 1st or 7th, why did you do it? He said it is a program, right? Yes, it is a program. Just like you have a parking, till you click that Y, it will not take you to the next star. But you forget to click that Y, you have a fine of 150 dirham or 200 dirhams. They earn a lot more through that. So that is it. Any other question that you have? You can ask me anything because I'll tell you something. I have committed every financial mistake, not once, twice, thrice. And Einstein says I think the meaning of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Whether it's real estate, whether it's buying gold jewelry, every gold jewelry shop has got a gold jewelry scheme. How many of you know when you buy gold jewelry, other than CA Dharmarajan Pateri, because he is a chartered accountant, he would know, and DTM Anita, how many of you know when you buy gold ornaments, what is approximately the making charges for a very intricate design? I think even DTM Anita can join in.
Yeah,
It could be anywhere
it's
from 15 to 25%.
15, 20, Singapore
Yeah.
make, Italian make.
Italian make, Singapore make, some Turkey, some, and the finer the work is. And what happens is, you see, gold itself is not gold, because for making gold, where you can make it into ornaments, they have to add other ingredients. And just imagine 30%, 35%, because when you go into the shop looking at the gold rate, but after that you are looking at designs, and it just becomes multiple calculations. You don't realize it. And when you sell it back, the tax is gone, the the VAT is gone, the making charges is gone, and most importantly, there are some kind of jewelry which you should never invest in from the point of resale, and that is diamond jewelry, because diamond jewelry is not even 22 karat. Are you aware of that? When they sell it the same shop, they sell it VSOP, VVSOP, and all those things. But when you go to sell it, they give you 18 karat used and all the stones. They say, oh, this is just this, right? So make sure that when you invest in gold, invest only in coin, in biscuits, in gold mutual fund, or gold ETF, depending upon where exactly you're based, whether you're based in a country that allows you to easily carry gold, and paper gold is something, digital gold is again something that you can. And if you are not an NRI, if you are an NRI, sovereign gold bond is not available for you, it's not an option for you. But if you are not an NRI, you can invest in sovereign gold bond, where not only do you get the current market rate for it, but you also get a 2.5% interest on the money that is that you have bought. Because two areas where India spends the maximum forex is crude oil and gold. And if all the Indian housewives were to put the gold together, we probably could be the #1 country in total gold reserves. So that's about gold, and it was not a specific question, but I just thought I'll
We
mention
have
it.
VP Salesh, Toastmaster
Yeah.
Salesh also wants to ask something.
Yeah, please unmute and speak, Toastmaster Salesh.
Hi, Alex, am I audible?
Yeah, absolutely, loud and clear.
Okay. I have two questions for you. The first thing is, in your speech, thanks for a wonderful session. One of my conception is, what I feel is we are born in debt, live in debt, and die in debt. Are we not focusing too much on tomorrow than living at today?
You know,
So I
it
mean,
is
even if it is governments, it is they're surviving on loans. They take loans for building bridges, whatever it is, and then they repay. And even if we live our dreams today, if I'm buying a property, I buy it on loans, and then we tend to repay it, get it done. Yeah. So other than that, if you think that you have to get save enough money to get buy something, by that time it gets inflated. Yeah. So I mean, how do you think we can?
See, I think there was a question. I'm not sure whether it was by Ravinder Pannu or somebody who has a home loan, but he said I have only 50% debt. I'm not sure. Was it you, Master Pannu?
It was me, sir.
Okay. So you see, now what happens is, they said if you are born poor, it's not your fault. If you are poor, it's still not your fault. But if you die poor, it's definitely your. Because you see, debt is something which, when you look at it from a different point, you know, I am somebody who's very much against certain forms of insurance, right? And I was talking to my mentor, and he said, like, why doesn't the government ban these kind of things? They are promising you 5%, 5.5%. They make you pay for 25 years, and they say wait for another 10 years, and then they give you double of the money that you invested. Or in many cases, they say whatever money you invested for the first 20 years, they give it back to you. They don't realize, realize that people don't know about inflation. They don't know that money compounds, and they don't know the value of time. Because today, I cannot change the government rules. So when I asked my mentor, he said, Alex, there is a road with a lot of potholes. You can say, the government should fill up the potholes. What is this? We elected them. And second one is, you maneuver your vehicle in such a way that your vehicle is safe, your shock observers, everything is intact, and you reach home. So I would encourage you to look at what is important for your family. And I am not even for a moment saying that you should postpone everything, right? Today, whether it's Oman, whether it's UAE, whether it's India, or whether it's Qatar or UK, there are so many ways you could have a good life. And see what's important for you and do what is required. At the same time, just like what Toastmaster Ravinder mentioned, no need of wasting your money or keeping it idle in poor compounders, but it is almost like you have a choice. From point A to point B, you can use 4 modes of transportation. The fastest would be to fly. The second would be to go by road on a fast car. Third would be to go by bike. Fourth one would be to cycle. And fifth one would be to walk. You can reach, but it takes more time. But probably it's better that you go by flight for most of the thing and then take a car or something. Similarly, the earlier you start investing and you invest in income producing assets and you diversify and you spend less than you earn, you definitely can be a millionaire. It doesn't make a difference. You are surrounded by stories of people who came from very humble backgrounds, very humble education, not even English medium education, and yet rose to a level where not only that they were able to create wealth for themselves, they were also able to share. Today, one of the main reasons I'm here is probably how many people are there, Satyajit, on the call now?
About 26 people.
Okay. If one out of the 25, one person follows one of the steps that I said and avoids one of the mistakes, my job here is done. I am not selling you anything. I am just telling you tips which I followed. I wish I could go back to when I started working in 1986. Of course, 1986, my salary was less than 1,000 rupees. But if I had done there, and I want to tell you a story, two people, both 20 years, they both get a salary of 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees, 1,000 dirhams, $1,000 doesn't make currency doesn't make a difference. First person, this is just for the maths, for you're not worrying about what he's living. He invests 1,000 rupees into a certain investment, which gives him a return of 15% every year. Continues doing it. Second person spends that entire money. After 20 years, the second guy thinks, sort of like there are many people around us telling, yeah, please invest in mutual funds, buy gold. Gold is limited, it's going up. Buy a house. You are anyway going to stay here in Dubai or Oman for 20 years. Let's do something, right? We don't listen to them. So the second guy invests when he is 40. He says, no, I have lost time. I will not invest 1,000 rupees. I will invest 2,000 rupees. The first guy continues to invest only 1,000 rupees. 20 years later, both are 60. They retire from their job. My dear friends, both of them have invested same amount, 4,80,000 rupees. Okay. The second person who started when he was 40 and who put double the amount, he's also cumulatively put the same amount. The second person's 4,80,000 has grown up to 30 lakhs. I'm just rounding it off. Can any of you, other than Chartered Accountant Dharmrajan Pateri, say what could be the amount of the first person? If the amount is same, 4,80,000. What would be the present value of that 4,80,000? Especially if you are not a finance person, please answer. And if you are a finance person, still answer. Let me know that you are a finance person. It's only fair.
It would be few crores.
Okay. Anybody else? Why? 30 lakh to few crores. Anybody else? Biswas, Satyajit, Uday, Shanu, Baumita, Renault, any of you? Jazim, you have asked a question. Sorry, I didn't. I will definitely get back to you because
let me answer it. If they are using the power of compound or like that, so in my knowledge, it would be around 9 crore like that.
Okay. Anybody else? Kiran, would you like to guess?
No, I'm not able to do it.
Okay. It's important. There is no right or wrong answer. Just sort of understanding. Because today, if you understand this one formula, the power of compounding, this one formula, you can forget. Because 99% of what I'm telling, what is happening, you will forget. That's normal. But if you can remember one thing, and that's why I conduct a class for teenagers on Zoom, and all the parents, of course, they have been students of my mentor. So I conduct a class for the teenage kids. So the best time to teach them is, so today, if you realize, the more time your money stays. Today, every bank is selling you products. Every insurance company is selling you financial products. Say, pay for 5 years, wait for 15 years. After that, we will give you every year, we will give you the same amount you give. But what they don't tell you, and they say at the end, we will even return the money. But power of compounding is the biggest learning that you can learn. And both of them have put 4,80,000. But the first persons who invested only 1,000 rupees every month, his corpus would be 3 crores, right? Most of the audiences that I've had till now, they'll say, okay, not 30 lakhs, it will be 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs. I've not had anyone, honestly, Mr. Toastmaster Pannu, you are the very first person who has given a realistic figure from the compounding. Most of the others were not able to do that. If you know, see, there are two things. If you know and you don't take action, then there is no point in knowing. Today you realize the power of compounding. Next question, please, if you have, or if you have time for it.
We have some mothers who are looking at children also learning a lot from this.
Yeah, please. Before that, Jasim has asked a question: using credit card for cashback and reward points is a smart. No.
Yeah, it was already answered.
Yeah, it is not.
That's why I didn't ask you again.
No.
Yeah.
I did not. But please do not go by cashback. I use credit cards for the lounge access because I find it is very convenient. But apart from that, if you see the points, the reward points they give you, and how much of things, because then you are just buying to get the reward point. It is no point, and you will be so much richer if you use cash. If you are willing to take up a challenge, no need to share anything with me. Start from today, pay cash, except school fees and other things which you have to do. Otherwise, pay cash because the human mind has a connectivity.
Yeah.
And when you realize that you don't need to do it for long, do it for 90 days. Most of the people have done it, they have stuck to that. Now, if they don't have cash, they will avoid it. It is just like you forgot the wallet, you don't buy it, then you come the next day. Next day, you buy cash and do it. Okay. Any of the children who are here, please ask me any question.
Toastmaster Banashri, are you there? I mean, you're there, but would you want to ask a question? Okay. In the meantime, I'll just ask you out of my experience with my nephews and my children who are growing fast and already into internships. Alex, children, as soon as they start to earn, and nowadays the earning is pretty good. So the moment they start to earn, they are more looking at getting into traveling or spending on investing in real estates. I mean, when I talk about real estates, more so they're looking at land. And yeah, these are the two major major diversions of their money that's happening. So what exactly would you suggest for children who are avid travelers? What kind of an investment should they be looking at?
See, first, retirement, when you look at retirement, that word itself doesn't ring, for me, when people are saying, are you not planning for retirement? Like retirement is something that's there, 20 years, 30 years away. But what happens is, first, they need to have an emergency fund, right? And even before that, they need to have a life insurance, a pure term plan. Because if their parents are dependent upon them, many people who are coming to the Middle East, they have liabilities. Probably they are expected to support their sister's marriage or their parents and day-to-day life and all. So what if that is itself in risk? Because today, it's just like having a parachute. Have a parachute because nobody predicted COVID. There were so many of my friends who got such excellent raises in companies. They had resigned from the first company. The second company offer letter was there. Lockdown happened. That was the end of it. They could neither be here nor there. So my suggestion is, instead of investing in real estate right now, use it because equity has outperformed all other asset classes over time. I would encourage them to read about, first, invest in personal finance because that's the cheapest way of learning what to do. Traveling, again, you can go backpacking, visit many countries on a shoestring budget, or you can go to one particular, DTM Dharmarajan Pateri. I think probably he's been to 100 countries, if I'm not wrong, or probably more, right? So there are, it is not necessary you should go in luxury. Even if you look at those who are in India, so much to travel, and there are different ways you can do travel. You can do virtual travel, you can read about it, and then, it's just like, I conduct something known as a food meditation. Most of us, we eat food in a hurry, but what if you can eat a single, resin, a single kishmish, thanking the farmer who grew it, thanking the sun, the wind, the rain, thanking all the people along the way. And when you do that, I can tell you, probably someday, some other day, we will do it for Rendezvous Toastmasters. It's a food meditation where I can guarantee you, I experienced it first time 20 years back in one of my mentor session, and I can still feel the flavor right now as I'm talking. So there are different things. I would encourage that today, there is a story somewhere in northern India that, the child wanted to buy an elephant and the mother said no. And later, when things were better, the mother was able to buy 3 elephants, toys. Now, what really happens is, if you're talking about land, now land is open to a lot of things. Now, land, buy it where you have people to look after it. But if land is bought in a place because it's cheap and somebody comes and takes charge of it, and you are studying in the US or you're working in UK, you cannot come back for a legal battle. So where in the matter of real estate, in many times what happens is, if you're not very clear where you're buying land, do you have people, close family, who will protect it? Because you are just buying it for investment. So you don't want to build a house on it. You just want to keep it as land. But land is not income producing. Robert Kiyosaki is somebody who talks about the advantages of real estate, not plain real estate, income producing real estate. Now, unfortunately, in India, the normal rental yield is about 3%. But suppose if you are able to have small apartments, studio apartments in tourist places, and you can have an Airbnb setup, that makes a lot more sense in places like Goa or some of the hill stations. So make sure, one, what if tomorrow you like traveling, but tomorrow you don't have your job? Have you saved enough? Comes back to the emergency fund situation, comes back to protection. Protect your life, because when you're young, I'll tell you, today I have a 2 crore coverage. For a 2 crore coverage, how many of you have term insurance? Anybody in the audience who has term insurance? Satyajit, you have term insurance?
I do have. Yes, I do have.
Okay. Per crore, what do you pay premium? How long is it?
925 in
Sorry?
Indian rupees. 925
Per crore, right?
Indian rupees. Yes.
Okay. What is your coverage? 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore?
1 crore, 1.2 crore.
Okay. How much is your premium, annual premium?
925 per month.
Okay. So 1,000 rupees. Let's say round off 1,000 rupees,
Yes.
12,000 rupees. Okay. Right? When did you get your term insurance?
Around 4 years back.
Right. So now that 1,000 rupees per month, I'm just rounding it. It's nothing. Do you know I have 2 crore term insurance? Do you know what I pay? Can you guess?
3,000 or 4,000.
No. My annual payment is 1,30,000. You know why? I took it when I was 53 and I was diabetic. So start as early. It will be so small, so insignificant amount. It will not hurt you at all. So all of you who are young, who are healthy, please take a term insurance. And the most important thing, are you married, Satyajit?
No.
Okay. When you get married, please make sure take a term insurance where you get it registered, you get it endorsed under Married Women's Property Act. Nobody will tell you, no policy bazaar, no insurance agent. It is such a beautiful gift which is only open to the Indian insurance companies. It's called as Married Women's Property Act. So if it is endorsed under Married Women's Property Act, it doesn't cost you a single extra penny. Even if you are having 100 crores of debt, no court can attach the insurance dues. It will only come to your wife and children. This is something which I did not know. When I did, I have a 2 crore term insurance policy, but I took it too late. I said, okay, let me take it, even if it's too late. So now you see the difference, Satyajit? What you took it 4 years back, and very soon you'll even forget about it. It will be such a small thing. But for me, I have to make sure funds are there, 1,30,000. So please, all those who have not taken term insurance, take it as early as possible. Need not be one term insurance. You can have a second one, you can have a third one, depending upon how your life changes. And as your life gets settled, you can also stop that. It's like a car insurance. You know, it's not lifelong. Every year you are paying, and you start early, you pay less premium. You start late like me, you not only pay the age premium, you also pay the illnesses thing. Somebody has got diabetes, somebody has got hypertension, somebody has got BP, somebody has got thyroid, and the premium keeps on increasing. There's no freelance. Any other question?
Yeah, I think this is the last question that we can take today. It's
Okay.
from Toastmaster Kiran. It's on the chat box. Buy
Okay,
home,
okay.
buy or stay in a rented place.
You know, I want to, Kiran, that's a wonderful question. What happens is it's very important whether it is buying home in Dubai or buying home in India. Of course, buying home in Dubai makes more sense, but it depends upon what is your future thing. You are very young, but if you are planning to be here for the next 10 years, it definitely makes sense to invest, and need not be, you know, again, it depends upon what are you going to buy a property for. If you are wanting to stay there yourself, then look for the lower kind of property. But if you want to put it as an Airbnb, then you may actually go for studios in places which are frequented by tourists. So in Airbnb model of rental, even if you get 4 months of rental yield, that will be better than yearly rental elsewhere. But this is a generalization. I'm just suggesting you, please explore it. Yes, I have been staying in Dubai for 18 years. When I look back, I think I should have invested. And I had many times I had the opportunity, because literally 50% of my salary was going towards credit card payments. And many people today in UAE, in the Middle East, are comfortably living on 50% salary, because all the rest is going on the new car loan, latest mobile, again on EMI, and various other things.
Understood.
Thank you, Popula. Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else, or we call it a day? Okay, just a second.
If any of you who would like to reach out to me, you can connect with DTM Anita, and you know, so I would say, just like I told you about Benjamin Franklin, greatest investment, the return you get in your personal development. And I would go one step further and say personal finance, because today we are all successful. All of us are successful in our jobs, but we have a wrong belief that the same skills that got us to earn 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40,000 dirham salaries are the same skills that can help us invest in, which is wrong. You need a different thing. Today, if Sachin wants to learn hockey, he will not learn it himself. He will go to the best hockey coach. So have a mentor. If you don't have a paid mentor, look into your family, friend circle, or your bosses. Somebody would be there who's willing to mentor you. So these are some of the things. And if today one of you can start taking one small step, either reading the book Atomic Habits or Who Moved My Cheese, or there is a very nice book by Indian author Monica Hallen, Let's Talk Money. Any of these books can give you sufficient information to start. Start with emergency fund, start with protection, start spending less, start spending in cash, start writing it down. And if you have assets in UAE or the Middle East, please invest in a will. You will thank me one day, or you will definitely reap the benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alex. Just to put an end to this beautiful session, some more words from none other than Robert Kiyosaki. It is very interesting. Earning passive income from assets is the key to building wealth over time instead of relying on a salary. Rather than working hard to make money for someone else, let money work for you, make others work for you to make money for you. I mean, this is such beautiful words that can be taken as proper inputs for all the youngsters here and for people who have started late. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex. I'm pretty sure each one of us have learned so much, inspired, motivated to start something afresh. I still have to learn a lot about compounding the power of compounding. And Atomic Habits is one book which I'm not able to get on Amazon. Maybe only when I touch the airports or go to India is the place I can.
No, you'll find it in Kinokuniya, you'll find it in almost Jareer, you'll find it in what is that?
Okay, in the bookstores.
Magrity. Yeah. It's
Okay.
there. It's one of the top selling
yes.
habit.
This is
You see, the only way you can have a new habit, you cannot stop it. You can only replace it. Whether it's waking up early, start with day zero, which is perfectly fine.
True. I think it's time that I bought this book because it keeps coming back into my life from all experienced people. So thank you so much. Now I'll hand it back to the president of Rendezvous Toastmasters for having hosted such a beautiful session. Toastmaster Kamal, the stage is yours. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alex.
Thank you everyone for attending this meeting. May you all got some good knowledge regarding financial challenges that we are facing and how to overcome.